Hi, good afternoon. I think we should get going really. It's 2 o'clock. So, hi, my name is Mohammed Bajwa. I'm from ProView Communications, and I'm going to be shortly joined by Scott Forster from 2N, who will answer some of the questions for us as well. Just to introduce, you can see on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side window, you've got a chat box option. So if you have any questions, you can just write in a chat box, and we will either try to answer during the webinar, or we will send you an email with the answers. So as I said, today we're going to be purely talking about the indoor touchscreen monitor from 2N. So the first screen, as you can see, is purely for the introduction. So I'm just going to head off to the next screen, and we're going to crack on with the main features. So the main features, as you can see, it is an Android-based touchscreen unit. It is surface mountable, so it is one of the first sensibly priced really unit, and it is quite nice, and it's got quite nice and feel to it. It is 2N has used like industrial grade design, and it is the first of its kind, which is used to basically built on the basis that it needs to be remained, power 24/7, 365 days of the year. So although it is Android-based, you can't really confuse that with any Android and iOS tablets, because what we have seen with these tablets and Android, iPhones or iPads or anything, is they're not really designed or built for 24/7 operation, and you have to provide power to it. And we have seen some failures in the past, so that's why there is no comparison. That's what I'm trying to say. And being a slimmest version, it is really designed for internal wall mounting. It is very slim, so you don't have to make like big holes to install it inside the wall. So it is quite useful in that respect. Being Android nature of it, it will work with any sort of SIP-based intercom anyways. But only with third-party application, because obviously, and 2N the application which is already there is purely built for 2N intercoms. But the whole idea is the seamless integration will be with 2N as we speak. It's got a 7-inch high-definition sort of capacitive screen with energy-saving mode, and it can also display HD cameras, HD images from any HD compatible cameras. Again, that is using third-party application. The installation is quite simple as we speak. It's just when you plug it in, it gets an IP address automatically from DHCP, and then it detects all the intercoms within the network. And as I said, the interface is designed, the whole thing is designed to be very user-friendly and easy to install. So you just wall mount it, and it's good to go. And the screen can be customized to suit your needs. So if some of the icons you don't really want, then you can replace them with your own logos or your own icon or your own applications. So the next part is more like about the technical features, if somebody is interested. It is running an Android 4.2 operating system. Some of the basic functionalities are it's got a built-in web browser, which can be used for web browsing. And we have a couple of customers who are using it to browse through their home automation system, and they can control lights, heatings, and all sorts of stuff with a web browser. It's got a built-in weatherproof report, which we will talk about in the main picture view of the thing. It's got a status LED, which is right on the bottom of the screen, and which could be used for missed call notifications. It could be used for when you're on a call, or do not disturb mode, and all sorts. So it could be used for quite a variety of different purposes. It is open for third-party integration, but again, using third-party applications. When you buy the system as it is a lockdown system, because obviously Tuan don't really want people to install any third-party non-compatible applications. So, but you can install any application, but it will require an unlocking license from Tuan, which is about, I think, £40 or something similar. You can find all the pricing on our system anyways. So that's what it is. The unit can be powered using a PoE switch or a 12-volt power supply. Obviously, the whole idea is to make it in PoE is less cabling. You don't really want 12-volt, cable going from your tablet, like fancy tablet, to your switch or something like that. So it's easy to hide and easy to install in that case as well. You don't really need static IP address, because when you turn on the application, it will just automatically detect all the Tuan intercoms, and it will just be programming the intercoms to call the indoor touchscreen, which is pretty much straightforward. So you don't have to worry about that. And you can remotely control the intercoms, which means that you can call the intercom. If you want to listen to what's going on the door, you can press the listen button, and you can also unlock the door as well. So there are 3 different buttons, which we will talk about as well. It's got a powerful 2-watt loudspeaker, which is good enough for a house or commercial, or even for commercial use as well. It is good enough, quite good. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the different views of, or pictures of front view or all sorts of stuff for the indoor touch. So the image you can see is the front view. This is what it will look like when it comes to you in a PAX system. So as you can see, it's got 7-inch high capacity touchscreen. It's got a status indicator, which is right in the middle, which you can see here. At the moment it says 2N, but again, when there is something to indicate, it will either turn blue or red, depending on the functionality. The lower bottom end of the scene, you can see there's an area for loudspeaker, and then there's also a slot for SD card, which is generally used for uploading any third-party applications. It is also used for upgrading the software onto an indoor touch, and it can also be used if you're having some issues or you want to find out what's going on with the system. You can dump the logs onto the SD card as well, and you can pass it on to IT guys or us, and we can troubleshoot and see what's going on. So let's have a look at the rear view, and as you can see, the rear view has quite a few bits and pieces to it. You've got a connection or a green terminal window screw points for external power supply. You've got a LAN connection, which is again PoE enabled, so you can use just a LAN connection to provide power over Ethernet. There's a reset button on the side as well. And there are, as you can see, there are quite a few screw trap terminals which are mainly used for future purpose. But there's a built-in relay, and there are a couple of input-output options on the actual existing board as well. At the moment, it's not being used, but there are firmware being built to utilize them. And a good example would be a flat which has 2 main doors. So there you've got a front door, you've got a back door, and basically what you have, obviously when somebody presses the button, you can see the image on the front door, but then when they walk in, obviously there's a second door, which is the main door for your entrance. So the second relay could be used in future, one of the means to unlock the second door as well. It could be used for anything else. It could be for lighting control, for heating control, and all sorts of stuff. So the functionalities are sort of limitless. You can do whatever you want to do with it. The front image shows you the standard menu view. So when you turn it on, all being well, when it turns on, this is what you can see. As you can see on the right-hand side, top side of the intercom, you've got a 2N Helios IP application, which is again the application developed by 2N guys, and that will be the controlling factor for all the intercoms. So when you turn it on, you will see all the intercoms in there. I will talk about the 2N application screen in a minute as well. And then you've got weather report on the lower bottom right corner. You've got clock. Then you've got settings, browser, gallery, file manager, and in the middle you've got space. But again, this whole screen can be customized. Some of the bits can't be removed, like about screen and the weather report, but it may change. But as of we speak, it's not changeable. But again, you can upload your own logos or own menu icons on it, and you can use it that way as well. So this is the call screen view. This is basically internal view of the 2N application. So when you turn it on, this is what you see. Now the call screen view is a bit older because there has been a new firmware release which makes it a proper SIP client, but I will talk about it in a minute. So when you basically press the icon on the indoor touch, you can basically see a list of intercoms on the left-hand side and a list of missed calls on the right-hand side. So if somebody has pressed the intercom button, nobody was there to answer the call, you will see it under, sorry, that's the wrong button. So you can see all the missed calls under the missed call option. And again, as I said, if you have multiple intercoms, maybe a front door, a back door, a garden door, or something similar, then you can basically go to each intercom by pressing the intercom tab on the left-hand side. As you can see, there is a Helios IP4 showing there's a verso. So whenever you tap on the right icon, it will display an image from that intercom. Again, and at the same time, when you go to each intercom, you can see the different buttons. You can see a call button, intercom button, a listen button, and a door button. What each button, as you can see, listen buttons allow you to listen only mode, which is basically what's going on the door. A call button is you actually making a call to the intercom, and you can speak to the person on the door. And door one basically means unlock the door. Just to say, if anybody has joined in me at a later stage, there is a chat box on the right-hand side, bottom corner, so you can ask any questions if you have any questions. Coming back to the presentation, you can see there's a basic interconnect model. You can see. So basically, the whole idea is this is the basic intercom, so you can basically connect. Maybe you can connect up to 2 indoor touchscreens. One could be in the living room, dining room, and what you may want to go for a video phone in your bedroom. Maybe a fancy video phone, or maybe anything like that, or maybe even an analog handset as well. It doesn't really matter. So the basic interconnect is that, but the good point of using an 2N intercoms is, unlike all other SIP compatible intercoms, 2N can ring up to 3 different endpoints using a single button press. And you don't really need a PBX on site for that, doing that. So what it means is when you can program the button, it will ring maybe an iPhone, it can ring one indoor touch, and it can also ring a video phone or wall mountable phone, audio only phone in the kitchen or in the living area. So that's the most powerful thing. No other intercoms I'm aware, SIP-based intercoms I'm aware of, can do that without the use of PBX. And obviously, if you start using an IP-based PBX, you can ring as many SIP-enabled endpoints as you want. So the examples, the basic interconnects obviously show you it could apply to villas, apartment, flats. If somebody is into modern interiors, modern design, and they want everything to look modernized, the indoor touch fits in to bill quite nicely. And obviously, being an Android nature, it can be used quite flexibly with home automation and home automation systems.
Hi, Mohammed.
Yes.
Hi there. Just a quick thing. Do you see a future for that, for a very specific device like that? Because I'm just thinking is that if 2N do an app for existing Android devices or iPad or iPhone devices,
yeah.
I mean, who would buy that particular device? Is it because it's powered and it goes on the wall?
Yeah, I mean, we've always been asked this question that people always wanted to do something on the wall. Again, there is an application, free to download application available from 2N, and it will work. It will work fine. But we don't recommend just strictly relying on the application. The main reason is the mobile phone can break. There could be a new iOS, which could, iOS or operating upgrade that can break the software on it. So the whole idea is to have something fixed on the wall, and we know it's going to work whatever happens to your mobile phone. In unfortunate case, if it's been lost or broken or damaged, then obviously, as I said, we recommend to have something fixed on the wall anyway. It doesn't have to be to an indoor touch, but the idea being is you can have something fancy on the wall which could be used for customizing and doing a lot of different things to it. It's one of those things which you can have or you can't have. But it is, as I said, it is something which we're trying to replace with a legacy sort of system where people are still having the mind that they need a fixed phone on the wall to answer the call. And again, as I said, it's mobile app is always not really such at the moment. I would say stable.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So basically, yeah, you either have a typical phone on the wall, or you'll have something like this device here, but you'd always have something as opposed to just an app running on a tablet or on your PC or something.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct.
Yes. Can I? Sorry, it's Scott from 2N here. So just wondered whether I could add something to that conversation there, if that's okay, Mohammed and David. Yeah. Obviously, like Mohammed said, the Android and the ISO app is free of charge to download. You can put that on phones, on tablets, and things of that nature. What we've experienced is that a lot of manufacturers of these devices design the products to go to sleep because of battery consumption and things of that nature. So if you have one apartment where there is only a phone or a tablet for actually sort of answering the calls, and that device goes to sleep, somebody tries to obviously call from the intercom to your device, and the device misses that call, then you've obviously not been able to speak to those people and answer the door for them. So it is a nice feature to have a phone or a tablet working on the system, but we're finding that just the design of those devices is not suitable for something that in reality needs to work 24/7. So same again as Mohammed said, that the idea is that the intercom would ring an indoor touch or an IP phone or something of that nature first, and then part of the group dial or the circle dial is then it would ring a mobile or a tablet device, either in circle or group, so that it actually rings that device at the same time. So that's why we've gone for the indoor touch.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was, when myself and my colleagues looked at it, we thought, well, it seems quite expensive for an Android tablet, but it's not, is it? So I think the way you've explained it there is perfect. You need to have something which is hardwired 24/7, industrial quality, as opposed to the app, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and the other thing as well is, let's face it, we buy a tablet or a phone because when we go out, we want that functionality of taking our emails, our data, and things of that nature with us nowadays. So it's almost expected that that we'll respond to an email. So if you've walked out with your tablet, your intercom system has failed straight away. So that's the reason for it. And when we get into the big apartment installations, 300, 400 devices, this type of system will be expected by the client. They will expect some permanent system in place, and not every time there's a new client or a new student to be messing around installing apps and trying to get their phone to work with the local wireless router. So
yeah, I mean, one of the things we wondered, but there's no battery then, because it's. I suppose that our view was, when we were talking to clients, was that it would be an innovation to not have to go to the wall to open them up. And I suppose I wondered if it was going to come with a battery or Wi-Fi at some point.
There is a Wi-Fi version that's coming out. So obviously that would do away with your cabling, but you're still going to need some power to it. So it's never going to be designed for you to roam around with it, unless we get into having something like Motorola used to have with their first mobile phone, where you had a massive battery and a little handset. A
little cord.
Yeah, exactly. So and definitely as we move into the home automation side of things as well, the expectation there is that there is something on the wall, or there is something in the different rooms that's an interface for these things. But the clear point is this can work in parallel to the apps as well. So you would have full functionality, and the fact that the app is free of charge means that there's no extra charge to add that benefit of having something on the wall but something on your mobile.
And in terms of when someone presses the button for their unit, is it a maximum of 3 devices per push button? Is that what I'm saying?
But basically, any speed dial button can ring up to 3 devices as standard without a PBX or without a COM server. But then there is a setting called deputy, and if all 3 of those fail, then it can then flip to up to another 3 numbers. And if those 3 numbers fail, then it can then flip to another 3 numbers, and then you can point it back to the first number. So you could build it into quite a sophisticated sort of circle group, basically. But typically 3 is more than enough. Reception, security guy, and then some kind of mobile device. That's normally enough for most people.
And the third-party apps, are they from the Google Play Store?
Google Play Store and the App Store. So if you just type in 2N Helios, it'll find those apps for you to download.
Oh no, I mean on the actual Indoor Touch. Is it,
you
could put Sonos or something else like on it as well?
That's where you need the third-party license for that. We've designed this to be our Intercom sort of touchscreen device. If we start loading too many apps on it, then we're concerned that it'll move away from its primary sort of design and usage. So we would issue with a third-party license. You would then be able to download the Sonos app or something else and install that. Really, once you make that decision that you're going to start putting other apps on it, then it makes it more difficult for us to support those third-party systems. So you obviously need to take ownership of it at that point. But yes, it's all possible. So, okay.
I mean, I had a question about the IPI running on Windows, but do you want me to deal with that outside of this because it's not strictly related to this?
Probably, and to be honest with you, we've just sort of commandeered Mohammed's presentation. So
I'll bow out then.
Probably better just hand back to Mohammed, and obviously, yes, we can address those questions for you.
Yeah,
is that okay? Is that okay, David, Mohammed? Yeah, is that fine?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for handing it back to me. Right. Okay. So let's go to the next screen, which is some limitations. As you may probably have heard Scott talking about it. So each push button can be used to dial up to 3 indoor touchscreens on using the 2N intercoms. But there has been a new firmware that I've been testing, fortunately, which will basically make the 2N application a proper SIP client. So what you can do is you can put a small PBX on site if you want to, or maybe go hosted, and then once the PBX is involved, you can ring as many endpoints or as many indoor touch by a single push button press, because the core routing intelligence is sort of based within the SIP server or IP exchange we're talking about. So let's talk about some competition. It's not an exhaustive list against the competition, but it's mainly the major point is operating system, third-party integration, and the price point. So I'm sure there are other competitors in the market as well, but these are the 3 I am aware that we have dealt with. So as you can see, there's a 2N indoor touch, a Firmex Lynx client, which is basically a wall mount, nice looking wall mount kit, and then there's a Control 4 unit as well. So the major difference being is price, as you can see, these are all RRP price first of all. So the trade price is cheap, you know, you get discounts on the RRPs, obviously all the resellers. So the main major advantage is you can see the price comparison. It's half the price of any other competitors. It is based on Android, so it's possible to integrate third-party home automation applications or any other applications using that. It has, being an Android again, using third-party application, it is easier to integrate with access control systems. And obviously, being SIP nature of it, as long as you have a SIP PBX on site, you can pretty much do anything that any SIP handset or IP handset can do with the system. Scott, do you have anything to add on this slide, or shall I move forward?
No, I think that's a very fair summary. I think that the key point with what we're trying to do at 2N is try and use open formats that the industry like. We're not using proprietary sort of operating systems and formats, so we are trying to make a device that uses SIP protocols so that it's good within the telephony world. For access control, our sort of intercoms use things like the Wiegand interfaces, which same again is an industry standard. For the CCTV, we use things like OnViv and RTSP streaming servers, so same again, all the CCTV guys are used to that. Obviously we just had a question there about Sonos or something of that nature. Then, you know, we're open to other apps because we use Android that you know, sort of most of us use day to day. So I think that's, you know, it's not just about the fact that it's a fair price. There's good, it's feature rich, and as I say, we're open to this IP convergence of trying to bring all these technologies together, and we're actively embracing that. So that's a very fair sort of summary. There's always going to be competition for products, and competition's good. But at this moment in time, I think we've come out with an excellent product that clearly shows benefits over the competitors that you have in this table. So that's the only thing I wanted to add, Mohammed.
That's great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Right. We are, as you may have seen on our latest mailer, we are running a special offer. Thanks to 2N for sponsoring us on that. What we are offering at the moment to all the resellers who have attended the webinar, we are offering an extra 5% discount on the first video intercom you buy from us. There is no hurry for this offer. We are making sure the offer is available until 31st of March, which is basically Q1 of 2015. Not also 5% discount, but you will also get a free Go license free of charge, which is generally worth £100 when you buy them separately. And the whole point of using the Go license, let me give you a brief introduction. It will allow, it will give all full functional intercom to your end user, which basically includes enable on-with support, enhanced video support. It will also allow you to have automation. So if you want to, do something with the intercom, which is not really by default designed in there, something like you want to trigger a relay when something happens. Like, let's say, for example, if you want to trigger an alarm when somebody tries to open the front panel of the intercom. You want to do double authentication, which is one of the most common, most advanced feature on 2N, where you can have a keypad and a fob entry, so you can double authenticate the user and to let them in. So you can do a lot more for it, and obviously it is, as I said, it is free of charge for first quarter, and it is only applies to first intercom. Unfortunately, we can't offer more than that, and it is once per reseller. So, in summary, to an indoor touch, it is a flexible Android-based touchscreen monitor. It is competitively priced and feature-rich. Being an Android nature and SIP nature, it will work with any SIP-based intercom. But as Scott said, we're really trying to get you to buy the two-end intercoms to make the most out of the indoor touch. It can be powered using PoE or an external 12-volt power supply. And again, integration is possible with a wide range of third-party home automation and network security devices. We do have some limited demo stock available for trial, so if you want to get your hand dirty, feel free to get in touch, and we'll be happy to allocate you some test trial units. These are on first come, first served basis, so please let us know as soon as, and we will get back to you. Finally, we do have the indoor touch is available in black and white. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture for the white indoor touch at the moment, but it is available to order. And as Scott says, there is a wireless or Wi-Fi version of the indoor touch coming out soon, which will basically allow you to connect to a wireless network instead of getting a Cat5 to each installation place. Finally, the presentation will be available to download from ProView website shortly. We will email you over the details as well. So this is a time for questioning and feedback. I've got a question, which is, let me read the question, and I can now probably ask Scott for an answer.
Right, okay, sorry, so the question, will it be developed for ISO? Sorry, iOS. Yeah, the application is already available for Apple devices. So Indoor Touch is designed around Android, just purely on the basis that it's easier for us to develop and work with Android. If you want to use your iPhone, you want to use your tablet, your iPad, then yes, you can download the app today, connect that to a wireless router that's on the same network as your Intercom, and that will work perfectly.
Scott, I think the question is, will you design the same hardware using iOS rather than Android?
No, that's what I was saying. For us as a manufacturer, we've designed it around Android because that's easier for us to develop, and it's easier with our programmers, and that's the way that we've gone. So I don't know where the advantages would be of using, Apple within Indoor Touch. I don't know where that would give us advantages or disadvantages, but we have gone down the Android route.
That's great. Yeah, thank you. Again, if you have any questions, any feedback, and you've not managed to ask the question, or if we've not been managed to answer the questions, I'm just going to pop through my contact details.
It's Steve Ashby here.
Oh, hi Steve.
Hi there. This isn't a question. This is really, there's a few people on this call, and I just wanted to give, if they haven't already had some live feedback. As you know, we actually purchased some of these units for a customer. We had 4 Verso devices installed into a customer's premises not so long ago, and they were using an Android tablet and Android.
So, Steve, can you repeat again? I think something.
For those very reasons, they needed something. Sorry?
Just hold on one second. I'll have to mute everybody because we are getting some feedback. So just hold on one second, Steve, please.
Sure.
Right, Steve. Sorry. Can you repeat that question again, please?
Yeah, it was just really giving people some live, real-world experience of using the touch panel, because the customer that we recently installed 3 of these for, they had an Android tablet, an iOS tablet, and Android phones and Android tablets, but they found problems when the tablets were being used for other reasons and the gate was being rung, and so no devices were actually being rung when somebody was calling, particularly at an external gate. And they came back to us needing something fixed internally. We would normally install a phone or like a Grandstream or something like that. And these tablets came out just as they asked that question. And in terms of install and ease of install, by the time you plugged it into the PoE, within a minute, you've got a device that's configured and working to answer calls. It really was simple, and the customer is extremely happy with it. In addition to that, our company make a home automation system, and Mohammed said earlier that you can link to via a web browser to get to interface to do control, and so they actually now have our interface working directly on the web browser within the tablet, and they can control the home automation system as well as the gate answering. So it's turned out to be an extremely useful device and extremely easy to install, looks very good, and price is competitive. As from an installer's point of view, it was a dream. It really was so easy to do.
That's great, Steve. Thanks for the feedback. It was certainly helpful for us and hopefully for some of our resellers as well.
Just to pick up on that, Steve, if there's ever an opportunity that we can do, you know, a success story, you know, an application story, or we can share those experiences, then that's always appreciated. You know, we obviously like to spread the news where partners have you know, liked the device, and we'd certainly, you know, welcome doing something together to just promote it if that's possible.
Sure, get Mohammed to pass you my details, and we can have a chat about that offline.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Right. That's great, guys. I can't see any other questions, so you can see my contact details in front of your screens. If you have any more questions, if you want to get hold of a trial unit or anything, you can contact me. If you do want to contact Scott, then just get in touch with me and I'll pass across your details over to him as well, and you can have a chat with us. So I just wanted to thank you, everyone, to taking your time off and joining the webinar. I hope it was useful. We will make sure the recordings are available on internet, so you can basically always go back and listen to it. So thank you, everybody, and have a nice rest of the week and day. Yes, thank you very much. Goodbye.